So my little monster is primed. I'm gonna start painting him. I was originally considering doing like a dark brown or something, or even a light brown. But I think what I'm gonna go for is kind of like a monstrous skin color with some purple undertones. So I'm just gonna start with this. This is Army Painter Cultist Purple. I bought this to make some like iridescent skeletons. When I was buying it, the guy at the shop was like, "What are you painting?" And I was like, "I'm painting some skeletons." And he looked at me very funny because I was getting like teal and purple. And I was just experimenting with doing kind of more stylized stuff. I wanted to do like weird iridescent ghosts, basically. In case you missed it, this is a creature that I generated randomly for a game called Alien Zoology. You generate creatures off of randomized tables where you can have like 50 possible results and you roll a d50 several times. This creature has the trait of coprophagy, where it eats poop. And it also has an action card called Flatulence. None of that was planned. And I almost kind of wish it didn't have those abilities, because now I've had to say this several times, and yeah. I think it might make people not take me as seriously. I'm gonna go and do part of the eyelid with Blanched Berry, which is kind of like a deep purple. It's part of the John Blanche paint line. I like it a lot. I came up with this idea to put the mouth in here because it's supposed to eat stuff, which I forgot. I'm gonna give it a very, very clumsy mouth inside here. Oh well. My thinking is I'm gonna do skeleton bone, and then on top of that, I'm gonna use an ivory white to almost give it a little bit of a almost yellowy look, which I think will just look a little creepy if it's very subtle. A little bit of a fail of mixing the color I wanted to mix here. I was trying to get a little bit brighter pinkish color for body as kind of the next layer, but I think this is going to work okay for getting kind of a gross fleshy eyelid color. And that is actually working out pretty well for what I want, I think. So I got this slightly redder, paler purple. I'm going to start dry brushing on there. My coverage from the initial purple layer is actually worse than I initially realized. I think that's going to be okay because it seems like a lot of that is actually on high spots, surprisingly. And I should be catching those high spots with this lighter pass. Added even more white. I'm just gonna dry brush this on more. That little makeup brush is just so chunky. It's kind of hard to get it in the details. It's actually pretty sloppy. It's a little hard to paint with the camera between me and the model. I'm just making excuses. I'm not the cleanest painter normally. I have to do a lot of layers. A lot of fixes, iterative fixes. So I deviated the color that I kind of originally said I wanted to do of that dark brown for this, which I feel like looks kind of more retro sci-fi comic book look. And I was just checking. I feel like these tufts still look really good with this. Adds just that little bit of natural color that's still a little bit heightened and dramatic to it. I've had this feeling for a long time that sharing stuff on the internet is like scarier than it was like even 5 years ago, but like especially like 10 years ago. I don't know. It's hard to say. I think the level of quality has just jumped up so dramatically, and it's easy to feel like what's the point, right? So for me personally, what this channel is about is just me documenting my own progress in a way where I can just see it later too. And it's cool if anybody else is interested, but also if nobody else is interested, that's fine with me too. That said, I've actually been just so happy to see people respond positively, even though it's just been a couple people. Like, it's really cool. I don't know. I've been nervous about sharing stuff online for years and years and years, even though I used to do it. I used to have a woodworking channel. I think the other part of that too is, like, in the wargame space, there are some pretty nasty people, but like, a lot of those people don't actually play the games or like do the hobby part of it. They just like, I mean, they're more likely to be interested in lore or playing the actual game and like being a min-maxer than doing the hobby part. So I think focusing on this really just brings in the people that are more interested in things that border up against art and stuff like that. And so it's been really, really cool to see people just have this whole community spring up around this idea that Miscast have of doing the permadeath vlogs every day. Now, I'm not doing this permadeath. I don't have the free time to be able to do that just consistently and not delete this channel. I do want to do it pretty close to every day. I think that'd be really cool. I need to be consistently doing things more. I'm going to start painting the blue of this eye now. And for that, I'm going to use this Warpaint Fanatics, The Darkness, which is a deep blue, very dark. It's from the John Blanche collection of paints. I've got a bit of a reference here. That's not exactly what I want to do, but I want to do something close. So I'm going to do a very deep circle. And I actually do not know the best way to make a circle. I'm kind of going to make a cross and go out from there. Okay, that's a little smaller than I want. My goodness, I'm very tense doing this, which is not helping. It's looking really good. I actually kind of don't mind that I can see a little bit of brush strokes down there because it's like I want it to look illustrative or a little bit cartoony, I said, but I think illustrative is maybe the better word. I do want this to be slightly larger than this, just ever so slightly. A little nerve-wracking. I think the shape's pretty good. Just try to get it wider. I'm a little pressed for time, so I'm actually going to start basing while I'm waiting for the eye to dry because I'm going to have to do a lot of layers on the eye. Look at this. I am not sure if that is from 2005 or not. It might be. I don't know why they would specifically write the date. It probably is if it says 05, but this is from my old game store in California. This is Games Workshop modeling sand that I've had for 20 years now. Holy crap. Normally I'd kind of sprinkle it from above, but he is large enough that he kind of protects his whole base from getting sprinkled. Well, I was really hoping to get through this guy today. I'm editing the video way too late. I was planning on finishing the eye tonight and editing the video, but it's just too late to keep working on it. So I will be finishing this guy very soon and maybe doing like a 2-for-1 in a future video just because this guy is so close to done. But yeah, thanks for watching.